What I just said was, "Hi, my name's Chance." Spelled it out and give you my name sign, which is that, because that's the actual sign for Chance. So sign language, it all varies from country to country, and why people learn sign language and the reason for it. Sign language is used between the deaf community very largely because, well, they can't hear, and it's used with a lot with hard of hearing also. And the reason I learned sign language was because in my eighth grade year, I worked with autistic kids, and one of them knew sign language, and me and him became really good friends just from working together all the time. So the fact that he knew sign language wanted me to pursue it. High school I was in, they offer sign language. Took it there for a year, fell in love with it. So I took it for 4 years, and I've been fluent ever since, and still use sign to this day. The biggest thing with sign language is it's all about body language. Like, to reference between subjects and people, because there is no to, or, but, and in proper sign language. There's no conjunctions. So it's all referred to talking about one thing here, second thing, third thing. It's all different movements of the body. And it's got to do with a lot with facial expressions. When you're asking a question, it's all about your eyebrows and what parts of the face you use. Because you've got all of your male signs are on the top half of your head, like dad, boy, and all of your female signs are on the bottom half, which is like mom, girl, in essence, like that. Um, so, I mean, sign language varies between countries like every language. I mean, you go to the north and you've got a slang of English, and you go to the south and there's a slang of English. Sign language the same exact way. I learned sign language in Florida, and I'm still learning different signs and different ways to sign things up here in Tennessee. Just from that difference, there's signs from place to place. And it's not a very big change in signs, but I mean, it it is a change. And there's one thing for me learning from sign language that I found was very interesting because I'm really big in football. Um, I'm sure everybody knows football. That's one of the most common sports around. And the huddle was actually invented by a deaf man. Name was Paul Hubbard. He invented the huddle in 1890 at Gallaudet. And Gallaudet University is a all deaf college in Washington D.C. They're actually, which is really cool, is they're Division II teams. Like their football team, their baseball team. I think they got basketball too. I'm not 100% sure, but they are an all deaf school. They only let 6% of the students in per year. 6% are hearing, so it's pretty cool. And with sign language, there's different ways for sign language. You got a spectrum. You've got true ASL, true American Sign Language here. You got Pigeon Signed English here, and you got SEE Signed Exactly English here. True ASL is what deaf people use. It's the base of the language, which means no to or but and the, and you've got Pigeon Signed English here, which is basically middle between. Pigeon Signed English is sign language, but you identify it more with the letter of each sign. So, like American Sign Language, you're signing about pizza, and then you go over here to eat chicken. Instead of saying, like, instead of American Sign Language, you don't say anything. PSE, you say but. Sign that's not really used, but there's signs for buts and, or, to. So PSE is more identifying with It's a mix between two, because sign exact English is just pure English-based signs. Every deaf person you're going to run into hates it. They despise it, and they will correct you 100%. Meeting deaf people is very weird, in essence, because they're very direct. When you start going to sign to a deaf person, which I've experienced it myself, is they're going to sit there, they're going to ask you your name, how old you are, where you learned sign language, why you learned sign language. I mean, they're going to ask you who taught you sign language. They're very direct, which, I mean, writing it's very different too. It's time, topic, comments, how you write it. So, I mean, there's a lot to it. It's actually a first language a baby learns. Because, I mean, you have milk, you got mom, food. Very cool. It's a very interactive language that there's still so much to learn about.